Hello again and welcome to another video from the Marketing Study Guide. In this video, I'm going to clarify the difference between a buyer and a consumer and why that is important at all. My name is Jeff and I'm a long-term marketing lecturer and practitioner. Okay, so when I'm looking at buyers, I'm primarily going to be looking at the consumer market for this video. As you know, we have consumer market B2C, so business to consumer, business market B2B. In business markets, you'll actually have, for a number of firms, professional buyers, and they buy on behalf of the company. Particularly, retailers will buy stock in, and manufacturers will buy raw materials and ingredients, etc. Okay, but I'm primarily looking at the consumer market and the distinction between who is a consumer and who is a buyer. Now, sometimes in the terminology, the term consumer and buyers will be used interchangeably, but there is a significant and important difference. So here we have a whole bunch of consumers. Everybody in the world is a consumer. We all have needs and we need to acquire certain things. So we've got individuals, we've got family units, and we've got household units. And in a household, we may have people sharing house, but there's no family relationship. So all of these are consumers, and depending on the company, some or a number of these people will be placed into our target market. Okay, so as I said, they're all consumers. So I'm going to look at the family structure here. These three shops are all targeting the same consumers, which happens to be a family. So some sort of clothing shop, and obviously all families need some form of clothing. Okay, so that's their target market. Each shop has the same target market definition to make this simple. And these are consumers, but only some of them will be buyers. Okay, so let's take the girl here. Let's assume she has some pocket money from time to time, and occasionally she goes in and buys products herself. So she does the transaction, she chooses the product, and she uses her own money, and she is actually a buyer and most likely the end consumer as well. Then we've got the mum here who may do some of the shopping, and she's gone to that shop and that shop, and she's been a buyer in those two shops. She may be buying on behalf of herself, or she may be buying for the family as a unit. And then finally, the dad is the main shopper for the family. He's been to all three shops, so he would be buying both for his own needs plus the overall needs of the family. Okay, so the difference is clearly everybody is a consumer, including this little baby here, little child, but the people who go in and execute the transaction in the store, exchange the money, they are the buyers. So why does it matter? Why are some consumer behavior books called consumer behavior and other books are called buyer behavior? Well, personally, I think it's more important to concentrate on the buyer. Okay, and the reasons are a buyer is usually also a decision maker. Okay, so they may be buying on behalf of a family or a household, but generally in the store they have to make decisions, and they may choose different solutions or different products from normal. Okay, so they're going to be a decision maker. There's plenty of in-store influencers, so there's signage, there's salespeople, there's sales promotions, there's discounting, etc. So that person going in may go in with a potential list of things to buy and a potential list of brands, but they can also switch in the store. Okay, over time, if they're the regular buyer for the family, in this case, they become the shopping expert and they become very influential in the overall family's decision making. So the wife may say, what about this brand? And the husband, who's the regular buyer in this example, would then go, well, this brand is superior because of this, and I wouldn't buy the brand you're recommending because of this. And that's through experience and expertise. The buyer can be reached through multiple channels. In addition to normal media, They're more likely to be served with internet ads because they're more likely to do some online research. They see a lot more in-store signage, packaging, and more likely to interact with salespeople, etc. And because they have purchasing experience, they will develop key brand attitudes, brand preferences, and loyalty. So when you put all that together, they become the key person in the house that drives the market share and the ongoing sales, etc. So even though the other family members can be decision makers at the time, they can influence decisions, they could initiate decisions, etc. The buyer becomes the overarching expert and the overarching influence. So if we can tailor our marketing efforts and understand the buyer and how to reach them and how to influence them, then that gives you a good flow-on effect as opposed to targeting various consumers. Consumers are still important, they're still going to have a part to play, but buyers are more important. Okay, so hopefully that helps explain the difference between a buyer and a consumer and why that matters. And please check out my other videos and please subscribe to the channel.